So today, folks, I'm here to ask the question, are you hypnotized? Are you hypnotized? Now, the odds are, if you're watching this video, you're probably not. But what you're noticing is that people around you seem hypnotized. They're coming out with nonsense. Have got forming opinions straight out of the news headlines that they've lost the ability to think themselves. They've lost the ability for critical reasoning, and they've lost the ability to look into the whole picture of the stuff that's going on right now. And if you're watching this video, you're probably an empath, you're probably a healer. And what's happening at the moment is the world is going so mad. It's going so mad that healers, the people that can see what's going on, are feeling increasingly isolated. You're probably finding that you're falling out with your family, you're falling out with your friends, you're feeling like you're fairly isolated right now. So I'm here to tell you that this is all happening for a reason. You're probably thinking, you're starting to doubt yourself. What is going on? Is it me? Is it me? Yes, it is you, folks. It is, because being awake in this environment is a dangerous thing. It's a very isolating, it's a very lonely, and sometimes a very dangerous thing. And it's a lot easier to conform and fit in than it is to actually speak your truth. That's the truth of the issue, folks. It's the truth. And not only that, you can get deplatformed for it. Even recording this video could be a little bit dodgy for me, because it's like, no, who is this guy? Like he's got a different narrative. He's not telling the stuff that we want people to be told. Powers that be, no, stop it, get out. Excommunication, folks, excommunication. So let's look into some research into this. So back in the 50s, a chap called Solomon Asch created some experiments where he had a control group, and he got them all to answer the wrong answer. They had like a line. They had one line here and they had lines here. And the group had to put their hand up when they got to the line that they thought was the same length. And the control group were all programmed to put their hand up on the wrong line. And there's one person in the audience. And what they found, rather than go against the group, that they would rather vote what was wrong and go with the group than speak their truth. And this has gone on throughout history, folks. If you look as far back as we can go, we've always been tribal. If you're kicked out of the tribe, your life is at risk. The smaller the group that you're in, the more dangerous it was, especially back in the medieval era, going back throughout history. In fact, not that long ago. You're in the wrong tribe, the smallest tribe, your life is in danger. In fact, it was only 1,000 years, which in the evolutionary scale isn't that much, when the Vikings would just turn up. There you were in your nice little peaceful monastery, minding your own business and worshipping God. And suddenly all these lunatics turn up with knives and swords and slashing all your mates and killing everybody, stealing all your holy relics. It's not very fair, is it? Where was God then, folks? Where was he? So, the bottom line was that it was brutal times, folks, brutal times. And it really was the fact that the ultimate punishment was being thrown out of your tribe, your clan, your religious sect. Excommunication was the ultimate slap on the wrist. And suddenly people learned that having different views of speaking out was a very dangerous thing. Even having healing powers traditionally. I mean, think about if you were a healer, you did a bit of healing work, suddenly you're a witch, you get burned at the stake. Even helping people came at a price. So learning to not express your thing, learning not to shine your talent, learning not to shine your light, and learning not to speak your truth has been a universal throughout the course of history, folks. Throughout the course of history. This isn't a new thing. But what you're probably finding now is that people are starting to wake up. A lot of people are asleep. A lot of sheep are asleep, sleep sheep. The sleep sheep, sleepy sheepy. Your friends, your family, it's like, I can't believe I've been friends with you for this long and you're a bloody idiot. You can't see. Open your eyes, look. Look. And, let's just talk about a few topics that are really rocking the boat right now. So probably not going back that long. Talk about vaccines. Everyone's got an opinion on that. The awakened ones probably having a slightly different opinion from everyone else. Then we've got immigration. Now look what's happening with that. Now, it's not about racism, it's about people unhinged with knives coming on and killing the native populations, and two-tier policing in the UK. All of these things are being fed to us that we are racist or we're not right to even complain about things like this, when kids are getting cut up, young kids getting groomed and raped, but that's all good because we should tolerate that. I've talked about tolerance in the past. But the fact is that it's easier to fit in. The narrative is there, folks. It's happening slowly, little inroads, little inroads. Accept this, accept that. How long realistically before the army are on the street? Who knows? The revolution starts. I mean, it does feel a bit like that way at the time, folks. So, we are living in slightly worrying times. And the thing is, all of these things are being stirred up. Is there a bigger picture? Are they bringing in things like central bank digital currencies, which most people haven't even heard of, let alone know what's coming? These are pretty much a done deal in the UK, in fact, globally at the moment. All of this legislation is passing under the radar now while everyone's talking about everything else, while everyone's pointing fingers at each other and calling each other racists, calling them intolerant, calling them fascists, calling them far right or far left, socialist, communists, all these labels coming at everyone, everybody fighting. And from somebody that's grew up in the UK and loves history, like divide and rule has been a tactic over time. It's been tried and tested, folks. Turn the native population against each other, and then you can go in and do whatever you want. Well, they're fighting each other. We'll come in and we'll just do what we like. It's not happening, folks. Is that the sheep? Is a sleepy, sheepy? It's all happening while we're fighting with each other. Everybody's going mad. Stuff is happening in the background. And before we know, we've got digital IDs, 15-minute cities, and we can't go anywhere. We've been controlled. We're being controlled by the Force. The Eye of Sauron is looking at us, folks. It does feel a bit that way, doesn't it, at times? And if you're still watching this video now, you're my target audience. You're the people that are probably a little bit awake, and you've noticed that people are starting to be hypnotized around you. Starting to drink the Kool-Aid, folks. They're starting to do stupid stuff. They're starting to repeat the narratives. And it's starting to feel at times just a little bit dangerous to speak your mind or tell your truth, folks. And the thing is, most people don't want to hear it. Most people don't want to hear it. But there is a group. There's a group of people who are a little bit more awake, a little bit more savvy, and a little bit more isolated than the average person. And now the call has been to wake up, folks. And messages like this are an invitation for you to see the light and to connect with people who are maybe slightly more aligned with your way of thinking. And this is really a call. All of this madness in the world is a call for light workers, healers, empaths to connect, to raise their vibration. That sounds a bit woo-woo, Adam, but the odds are if you're watching, it probably doesn't sound that woo-woo to you. It does to most of the population, though, folks. The combined amplification of energy can do serious good. And anyone that understands energy will know things like the Maharishi effect and the intention experiment, where, to keep it very simple, it was proven in the 70s, a set of experiments of 300 transcendental meditators going in cities at times of high crime rates and realizing that meditating on peace had a profound impact on the crime rates, reducing it by up to 20% with 300 people in a major city during the highest time. And this was repeated in different cities, in different places, and it had an effect all the time. It's been these set of experiments were so profound that a journalist has recreated some of them more recently. A woman called Lynn McTaggart. Look up the intention experiment. I mean, these are a whole separate video, so I'm not going to go into details. But the fact is that amplified energy of people on the same page can create a profound difference in global events. So if you're sitting there isolated and feeling a little bit powerless, folks, my message to you is simple. You can do something about it, but not on your own. You can only have a very limited effect on your own, but you can have a profound effect when you get together with a group of people with an aligned agenda, which is to raise the vibration and do good. So you can do that, folks. You can do it. It is possible to raise your vibration. It is possible to get together. All of this is possible It's possible for you to align, it's possible for you to connect, and it's possible for you to wake up together. So this is a message to you, if you're still watching this video, to say that you're not alone. There are people out there that understand what's going on, especially on this channel. And if you're not already subscribed, I suggest you do so, because I'm going to be drip feeding videos with a lot of resources and exercises to help you along the way. So if that's you, folks, then like and subscribe this video. That is going to definitely help you. And that can be done here. And there's going to be more of my random ramblings there. So if you want some more of those, then there you go, folks. So my little sleepy sheepies, let them sleep as you wake up and connect with the people who are already awake.